Hi, Christine Ravesi-Weinstein here from The Runner's High, author of Anxious, How to Advocate for Students with Anxiety, because what if it turns out right, and Fighting Your Inner Voice, a forthcoming release from Codebreaker EDU. Life is full of rules. There are written rules, some of which constitute laws, and unwritten rules. Ladies first, don't bunt to break up a no-hitter. Girls have long hair, boys have short hair. You don't pick your nose in public. You get the idea. And from a very young age, we spend our lives learning what we can and cannot do, what is done in good taste and poor taste. Many of these rules are unwritten because while they cannot be made into laws, our moral compasses tell us they're the right thing to do, or society does. Many of these things become so commonplace, they end up becoming the status quo. And while we're all individuals, free to make our own decisions, we abide by the status quo. At what point do we continue to adhere to societal expectations, and at what point do we disrupt the status quo? Well, for many things, I'm in no place to determine whether or not we should maintain the status quo. But for others, I have a little more insight. Gender norms, for example. Clearly, the whole girls have long hair, boys have short hair thing is not something I believe in. And while being a woman with short hair today isn't going to produce a double take, it did 35 years ago when I was called a boy constantly. And don't presume that an absence of judgment in body language means that people aren't still thinking about the status quo when they look at you. Just the other day, for instance, I had a woman come up to me and tell me how much she loved her hair, how not just anyone could pull it off, how I was so beautiful with it. But acceptance doesn't mean it's status quo now. In fact, acceptance is an admission that you're disrupting the status quo. So what is this vlog really about? Am I going to sit here and dissect every unwritten rule and societal expectation? While this is a vlog and that's an op-ed, no one needs another product of political bias. I'm not going to do that. But what I do want to talk about is the minutia that the status quo presents us on a daily basis. That mom guilt, the peer pressure, the Joneses, the voice in your head that tells you every day what you should be doing. Because the most toxic thing to come from the status quo is what you think you should be doing. I've been in therapy for years. That's not a secret given my story and platform. Oh, wait. Should I be admitting to that? Isn't saying you go to therapy frowned upon? One of the things we've talked about in therapy a lot is the power of the word should. Should's probably one of the most toxic words in the English language. Its negative undertones can unravel you, fuel your inner voice to the point of submission. Why do we use it? Why do we think we should be doing anything? We should, according to who? You see, there's an implication in that word. There's another person of comparison. Who is that other person or people we are doing this for or because of? Should is an expectation, and more often than not, an unrealistic one. Yet I catch myself using it all the time. I should. And what if I don't? Who's going to know? Who's going to think badly of me? And so what if they do? What if they don't accept me? You're still here, right? You're still okay, yes? See, there are no answers to these questions because these questions don't matter. They're irrelevant. None of the answers are within our control. There's only one question that matters, one for which you can control the outcome. What will make you feel good? That's what you should be doing. That's what you should want to do. In fact, get rid of the word should altogether and replace it with want to instead. I want to do some laundry. Then go do it. I want to work out today. Then go do it. I want to go food shopping. Then go do it. I want to check my email for work. Then go do it. The only thing you should be doing is what feels good or right to you. Stop listening to society. Stop listening to the status quo. Start listening to yourself, to your body, and to your mind. If you can't or don't want to run a 9-minute per mile pace, then run a 9.5 or 10-minute per mile pace. If you don't want long hair, then cut it short. If you don't want to just be professional, then be authentic. There are all these unwritten rules and societal expectations devised by people we don't even know, and yet we adhere to them like gospel. How about this? How about we establish a new unwritten rule defined by you? Do what feels right to you, what you want to, as long as it's not hurting anyone. You can't be responsible for other people's emotions. And remember, you might just inspire other people to follow suit. I'm Christine Ravesi-Weinstein. For more stories and strategies to support anxious students, make sure to check out my book, Anxious, from Times 10 Publications. And for inspiration on fighting your own inner voice, look for my new book from Codebreaker, coming soon, entitled Fighting Your Inner Voice. Don't forget to go to my website, www.ravesi-weinstein.com, for more information. And follow me on Twitter at @Ravesi-Weinstein. And don't forget, you got to get out there and take that risk. Because what if it turns out right? Not what if it goes wrong?